Hey, I'm Sides. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a very special video. Why? Because I went to Japan. And I went to Japan for many reasons, but I really wanted to check out musicians' home studios. So if you've been to Japan, you know that things are wildly different over there. Everything from you can't wear shoes at the restaurants, your toilets are different, you can even pick music to play in the public bathroom so nobody can hear you. So I wanted to see if the home studios there were just as different as the bathrooms. I'm gonna show you some of the studios that I toured. I think I toured 5 studios. Let's go to Japan. So the first 2 studios are actually in this small town, Kamakura, in Japan, an hour outside Tokyo. So let's go to the first studio. I loved this first studio. This first studio is in a tiny room, but this tiny room has so much soul and character and great vibes. So let's check out what the producer has to say about himself and his space. What is your favorite thing in this space?
ここに座って物っていうよりは
I'll repeat. So your favorite thing in the studio is that it's tiny, so you can just focus on what you need. What is your least favorite thing about the space?
防音がちょっと弱いかな
Your least favorite thing about the space is that you want it more quiet.
Yeah.
Room treatment, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one piece of gear or plug-in that you can't live without?
オゾンかな
Ozone
オゾン
by Isotope.
いやアイズト
What is your favorite song you made in this room?
Spotify
Blooming flower, raindrops of dawn, four-leaf clover, words and melodies. This is the song I wrote for you. Life is yours. Oh, life is truly yours.
The way I met Sho is that he is a collaborator with my friend I, and I went to Berklee College of Music with me, and we actually studied abroad in Greece together. This was a really fun first studio to pop into. The vibes, 10 out of 10. Now let's move on to the next studio. So the next studio is also in Kamakura. This studio is not technically a home studio, but he lives like 2 doors down. Things in Japan are very small and compact, so this studio is kind of a little bit more of a commercial space, but I still thought it was worthy to go and check out. So here's a quick tour of this space. The producer goes by Sita. I really liked this space also. I do think it has a lot of potential. I know he wants to do a little bit more work to it, so that's really awesome. And I just had a lot of fun meeting him and listening to his music. Totally different than the first space. Definitely has a lot more room to work with. And of course, there's like the full kit, more commercial gear, and a little bit more analog gear. Let's listen to a clip of his music.
由比ヶ浜の女の子しなやかな足取りだけを砂に残し見とれていた男は何も言えずにただ立ち尽くし
What advice would you give to someone to starting out?
自分の目的に合った機材なりを揃えること何でもやろうとせずに
Your advice is to be clear about what you want and then build your studio around that. What is your favorite plugin that you can't live without?
Okay. And BSD silencer?
BS silencer. Okay.
あれね
Noise gate
Yes, noise gate.
What is your favorite outboard gear?
Hard
the
to
Neve.
find. Oh, yes, Neve compressor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're in Tokyo proper. So this next studio that we're heading to was on the east side of Tokyo. If you've been to Tokyo, you know Tokyo is a big city. So in this day, we actually toured 3 studios and they were all over town, literally all over town. We spent most of our time on the subway getting from point A to point B. It is the home studio of this Australian that has now moved to Tokyo. His artist name is Armstrong. Let's watch him give us a quick tour of his studio.
In here, over here, if you want to come in, behind here, all the boring stuff, I guess this is kind of where I practice my live setup. And over here, it's like basically all the analog gear that basically runs through the in and outs in Logic. Here, and that all runs through the Franklin, which is great. These guys are from Australia, and that's an in-out box that basically inputs all the synths into Logic.
Now let's listen to a quick clip of some of the music he makes. What is your favorite piece of gear here?
Favorite bit of gear would definitely be the Autobam or the Lyra 8. It's just they're both just so unique. So whenever you're using them, you're gonna get something original that you just can't really replicate.
Yeah, I love that. What plugin do you
Yeah.
use on every track?
Every track, yeah, the FX fragments.
Love it.
Once you get your head around it, it's amazing.
I really loved this home studio. This one is just proper. He went full out, having it properly treated. It's complete silence in there and lots of cool gear that he can work with. And yeah, it was a really cool space. Okay, now bopping on to the next studio. This next studio is like a museum. The whole wall to the left is covered with like thousands of records. The most records I've ever seen in my life in a home collection. Sugi was one of the most animated, amazing people I've ever met. He took us around town. He took us to this most incredible ramen place. And I really, really enjoyed his home studio. You have to check out this tour. This is me doing a quick tour around his house. And you can just see really how much cool stuff he really has in here. And he gave us so many CDs. Here is a little snippet of his music.
俺鼻炎塩素系とあれ混ぜると危険なしとる丘から来た昭和生まれのヴィンテージ大切にしないとすぐ壊れる気をつけて寿命があるからモダンなスタンスサルサに夢中誰かのロマンスクールスムースある時アラブの大富豪ある時に昼な渡り鳥
And this was a really fun interview because I actually used ChatGPT to translate because I don't speak Japanese. Asking Japanese, what is your favorite thing in the studio that doesn't have to do with music?
音楽に関係ないスタジオの中で一番好きなものは何ですか？
これじゃない？Here, name is 腕スパ。腕スパ 1, 2, 3.
Now we go to the next studio. This was the last studio of the day and the last studio to see in Tokyo. Also not technically a home studio. This one is kind of like a room that you rent out.
Hi, I'm Shinji. I'm doing the music producer director in Tokyo. And yeah, I mainly work in this studio and sometimes in a big studio.
I really loved this space. It has everything you need. Here's a snippet of some of his favorite things about the space. What is your favorite thing about this space?
The color.
The color.
Orange. Yeah, it makes me happy. And I love the color orange. And yeah, I like this tiny booth.
Yeah.
Maybe, in these days, we don't need the booth, but the passion of the singer
Yes.
rises in this booth. So yeah, it's my favorite point.
I love it. And what is your favorite thing in here that doesn't have to do with music?
Oh, my tiny friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a character from the baseball team. My
Oh,
favorite
really?
baseball team in
Okay,
Tokyo.
yeah. Baseball's big.
Big, yeah. And he's a swallow.
Swallow.
Mm.
What is your favorite plugin?
Plugin, yep. Melodyne.
Melodyne.
Yep.
Good one.
So my main job is, create the top line and the lyrics with the singer and the creators. And yeah, I'll record the vocals and yeah, I'll edit it and I'll pass it out to the mixing engineer.
So you're like vocal producer.
Yep.
Cool. Here's a snippet of his music. What advice would you give to somebody starting their own studio?
Oh, damn, I think these days it's very easy to set up your equipments. So I don't think everyone needs to, make those big stuff.
Yeah.
Just a laptop and like this guy.
Yeah.
This tiny interface and, easy vocal mic, like my favorite one.
Oh, SM58?
Yeah, 58 beta.
Beta.
And this one Sennheiser.
Oh.
945. And this and the cable interface in the laptop.
That's all you need?
Yeah. Don't think, just start it.
Yeah. And Shinji also has a bar just down the road, so we also got to go and check out his bar. What do you think? Are the studios as different as you would have expected them on the other side of the world? Or do we all kind of have a lot of the similar stuff? Most of them were using Logic Pro. I think I was mostly shocked by how we all kind of had like the same problems, a lot of the same problems and like the same inspirations. A lot of us want more space and better sound. And a lot of them said that you really don't need expensive equipment to make good music. I really feel like it's vibes over gear. Vibes over gear. If you're gonna underestimate one thing, it's gonna be your sound treatment. So spend less money on expensive gear, more money on better sound treatment, and have more room, good vibes to create. Thank you so much for watching my studio tours in Japan. Please subscribe to my channel. Which city should I go to next? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.